Hey, welcome back to edtech by Meera. And in today's tutorial, we are going to do the same tutorial that we did last time, that is converting time from 12-hour to 24-hour, but using Python string slicing. Last time we did it using datetime module, if you remember. So here it is. You'll be learning how to do it using string slicing. So let's get started. We have to use a function, so we define it as a convert function. We call it convert with the parameter of time, of course, because we are going to convert time, and then inside this function that we are defining, we will be doing the conversion tasks. So let's see how to do it. We create the if, elif, else loop conditions and see in which condition what has to be done. So in a scenario when time at index, now when you do slicing, it follows index. If you remember earlier, I've already done a tutorial in slicing. I'll mention that in the description. So if the time at the index, that is a string, the time string at the index -2 until the end. So -2, if you remember, that goes to the suffix position. So that means if the suffix equals am, right, and the time at index 2, that means the prefix. So the suffix is am and the prefix is 12. So anything to do with 12:30 a.m., for example, 12:45, 20, that means first the hour, then the minute, then the second. All right. So usually we show even for AM, PM, hours first. So that means if the suffix is AM and it's like showing the midnight time, like 12 something, 12:30 a.m., for example. Yeah, because index position 2, if you notice, in a string like 12:30 will be the first prefix 12. So if you have a prefix of 12, in other words, and a suffix of am, what you need to do in order to convert from this 12-hour format to the 24-hour format, that's what we are trying to do. So obviously in the 24-hour format you want to remove the am, right, and you want to do some changes here. Now when you say 12 a.m., obviously if you see the 24-hour format, it starts with 0 and then 0, 1, 2, 3, so on, because it counts from 0 until 24 hours. So return the string of 00 in the prefix plus time. How do you do the slicing? Starting from position 2, because position 2 until -2, the reverse position. So -2 not included. In slicing, whenever you are doing from to the end position is not considered, which means -2 is ending at AM. So AM is not considered. So I will be just retaining the minutes and the seconds. And in the hour position, instead of 12, you will be retaining 0, 0. So it will be like 12:30, 00 AM will show something like 0, then 30, then 00. That's it, no AM. So this is what we are trying to say. I hope you understood. And I want you to practice again. I'll be also writing the description so you can go through that. Then after that, in elif, so this is the if condition in this time. Now you consider another scenario, yeah, where what's happening is the time. Again, the suffix, earlier it was, first condition was suffix am, prefix 12. Now here, the suffix, that is -2 index position, if you write a string there like 10:30, 00 am, you will figure out what I am saying. Yeah. So if the suffix is am, no other condition. The time could be something else, not necessarily 12. Maybe it could be 10:30, maybe it could be 9:30, whatever. So in that scenario, it's just AM time. How do you change it to the 24-hour format? It's happening before the 12. It is happening before the midnight time. So then how do you slice it and how do you return the time? So in that scenario, what you need to do is to, of course, you have to remove the suffix by slicing like previous, minus 2. So when you say the colon and minus 2 means it is slicing from minus 1. Beginning, when you do reverse, is considered not 0. Reverse direction minus 1. Last of the string is minus 1, right? So last index. So minus 1 until minus 2. When you slice, what happens? You remove the suffix, which is the am in this case. And then how do you what do you return? You just return whatever the time after chopping of the am. So let's say it was 9:30 or 10:30 a.m. You just remove the am and you return in the 24-hour format 10:30:00. That's it. So not much change except removal of the suffix. Then we are considering another scenario in which you have the suffix as pm. Yeah. So the suffix is pm and the prefix as 12. Last time it was suffix as am and prefix as 12. Now suffix pm and prefix as 12, mind you. So like for example, like 12 pm. So what is that actually? If you see in real life situation in a 12-hour format, 12 p.m. or 12:30 p.m., 12:30 p.m. 45 seconds, 12:30 p.m. 45 seconds, what is it treated as? Afternoon, right? So it's afternoon time. Noon time is 12 or 12:30 p.m. So what do you return in that case? Of course, you have to remove, by slicing, you have to remove the pm. And you just have to return by slicing how? From minus 1 to minus 2. That means you just slice away the remove. In other words, from minus 1 to minus 2 means remove the pm. And then whatever is there. Like for example, it's 12:30, 12 hour 30 minutes. Just return the 12 hour 30. So just return 12 hour 30. That's it. So that part is over. So when it was AM, you had to replace it with 00 because the midnight convention is you have to replace with 00. But when it's 12:30 p.m., for example, you just need to remove the PM in order to convert it into the 24-hour format. Okay. Then what is the other condition? Okay, then another condition you are considering is that means what you are left with is it's neither 12 in the midnight, neither 12 in the afternoon, none of these conditions. So what else? It's just any other number, like it could be some other number, like some other time. Yeah. So in that case, how do you get it done? So for example, it could be like, let's consider a situation where, like let's say 12:30 p.m. for example. Yeah. So in that case, PM, mind you, or maybe 11:30 p.m. for example, rather better still, 11:30 p.m. So that is night time. Yeah, so 12:30 will be noon. So let's consider 11:30 p.m. for example, or 10:30 p.m. So in that case, what's happening? It's p.m. night. You still need to remove the p.m. Yeah, but when it's night time, remember, what first thing you need to do is slice the time from 0 to 2. So that means whatever is the first, like for example 12, so that part, the prefix you need to take and then extract, and then to that you need to add 12 because it's a 24-hour format. Yeah, from the 12-hour format you need to add a 12-hour. So example, if it is 10:30 p.m. will become 10 plus 12, 22 hour, for example. And then you need to slice the remaining part, which is the what do you call the PM part. So how do you do that? Reverse slicing from minus 1 to minus 2, which is shown as :-2. So what you are left with is you remove that PM part, then whatever number, like for example I said 11:30, so the 11 hour get added with 12. So 11 plus 12 will be 23. Yeah, minutes remain the same. 30, seconds remain the same. So that part you sliced off. So by slicing that part you already sliced, your remaining you just removed. You only, while slicing, you only removed the suffix part. Yeah. So that means you remove the index from minus, sliced it from -1 to index -2. Colon -2 slice means slice from -1 to -2, which is removing the PM part. Rest of it is remaining. Just add 12 to the prefix. That's about it. So now let's get started testing it one by one. And even before testing, I already gave you examples. So that was cool. You can even take those examples while I was explaining. I was giving examples like the last one, the before one, and the before one. I already gave you 3 examples in 3 different scenarios. Okay, let's start it. So I want you to test with these timings. First, I want you to test with 12:30 a.m., 12:30, 40 a.m. Second is okay. You can leave it as 00. So I want you to test with 12:30 a.m. I want you to test with 12:30 p.m. Then I want to test with a third scenario, which is just normal morning time before 11, like could be 11:30 a.m. or 10:30 a.m., 9:30 a.m., any one of those before 12. And I also want you to try test the fourth option, the last one. I want you to test for the night time, like before midnight, like maybe 9 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. I want you to try. You could also try like 5 p.m. evening onwards. So I want you to try those timings, and then you will understand what I meant in the step-by-step explanations. And for your information, other than the short, brief description, here I will be also later in the next coming weeks, I'll be also writing the explanation and the documentation for this and all my other tutorials in Substack, where I have a blog. So you can read that as well. Plus, I'll be writing a short description in this description below. So you for the conversions, so you can read that as well. And still, if you cannot follow, you can still ask me in the comment section. If you have any doubt, I will explain it in depth. If any doubt you have in the conversion formula using slicing. So there you go. When there was 12 a.m., you remove the a.m. and the prefix was replaced by 00. Just testing out the different scenarios. And I want you to write it down also in pen and pencil while you're testing the time. So that makes it a lot more easier to understand the principles of slicing a string that I just explained. Okay, let's check other examples. So we finished with the midnight one, and let's see some other. And remember, and the reason, just to tell you quickly, I returned a string last time because we want to get the string in the conversion. And integer, remember the integer, because it's a number. Just to tell you that, because while adding 12, I need to make sure that it's an integer. So that's why I did the integer function, integer method here. Okay, so that you already know, we've been doing that in Python several times while adding. Okay, so then I'm doing this example for scenario for 10:30 a.m. that I just told you about. So the a.m. gets removed, it's just 10:30. We already explained, I just already explained that earlier in one of the conditions, where it's a normal time before 12 in the morning, in the afternoon, and that one just you remove the suffix only. Rest of the time remains the same for the 24-hour format. Then 10:30 p.m. a.m. replaced by p.m. Then this is what? 22:30. Why? Because the 10, if you add it to the 12-hour plus 12, remember the condition. So that becomes 22. Minutes and seconds remain the same, and we remove the suffix, which is the p.m. Okay. Then let's see if any other condition I left out. I think I mentioned all. Just testing out if anything left. And remember, for those who have not yet subscribed, do remember to smash that subscribe button so that you get to see more of such Python beginner tutorials with in-depth explanation. Many other people have tried explaining this program of conversion using Python slicing, but they have not gone into such in-depth explanation. And in the beginning, even I myself had a tough time understanding. So I decided to do this tutorial so that those beginners who are doing Python slicing should not go through a similar stage that I had when I was a beginner. So I want to spare them the pain of understanding this by explaining this. It looks very simple exercise, but simple exercise or simple project. But when you get to explain it in depth, how the slicing occurs in order to retain the string and in order to remove the suffix or the prefix, in order to retain whatever you require, that gets complicated if you don't understand well. So that's the reason I'm explaining it in detail here. I explained the concepts of slicing in the 4 situations. There was 4 situations, namely 12 midnight, 12 afternoon, then just some number in the morning, then just some time in the morning before 12, and just some time in the evening before midnight. Those conditions, 4 conditions, I explained how the slicing is done and what should be the outcome and how to get the outcome. So here you go for the night time, 10 plus 12, 22, 30. That's it. So let's see if I want to test something else. Okay, 12:30 or maybe 11:30 p.m. Just another situation at night. Obviously, 11 plus 12 is 23. 30 minutes, 00 seconds remain the same, and the PM is chopped off by slicing. How? Return the colon -2. That means from -1 to -2, you do the slicing. So you remove the PM. Yeah, so I think this is quite clear enough. I'm just showing some more example. There you go. 14:30. Again the same thing. I added 12. Now considering 2:30 a.m. 2:30 a.m. remains the same because after midnight it calculates the same 00 convention, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and then the morning. So you already know, like when you're in real life, how the midnight time is calculated. Okay, 7:30, it's still no different. 7:30, just the a.m. gets removed. 7:30 in the morning. Just doing, I think I want you to try minimum 4 and maximum 20 different timings. But 4 with the 12 a.m., one with the 12 a.m., another one with the 12 p.m., another one anytime in the morning, another one anytime in the evening, another one anytime at night, before midnight. Then you will, and then I want you to write down when you're slicing. Then you'll understand the way and method I explained. Also read my description. See you in the next tutorial where I'll be doing this in a different way, using regex Python. Yeah. So keep subscribed for the full course of Python beginners.